It's time for another Dice Tower review with Z Garcia.
Hey everybody, today I'm taking a look at Sail Away. In this game, all the players are pirates, and you are looting goods from different islands, loading them on ships, sending those ships away to score the most victory points. That's pretty much it. It's a fairly straightforward design. Let me show you. So here's what the game looks like set up partly. Every player is going to get a player sheet. You start with 4 coins, some plastic bits here that are going to let you claim more resources, etc. You set out all the piles, make some islands available equal to the number of players plus 1. So we'll pretend it's a 3-player game with these 4 here face up. And then some ships for everyone, some upcoming ships, and some special action cards. And that's pretty much it, except for flipping over one of these hidden goal tokens. That is a common goal. Everybody has one that is something they want to collect, and there is also a common one that everyone wants to hopefully attempt to collect. So what are you doing? What are you collecting? Well, in the game, you are going to be using the crates here that come in 2 kinds. There's the regular crates, and then these pirate crates that are slightly different, have a slightly different use. And they're going to be using those to claim goods on the islands, and then in turn use those goods to ship them back on these ship cards. So you load them up, ship them off, get victory points equal to what the card says, and you do that 5 times, game's over, see who's got the most points, all right? So here's how a turn goes. At the beginning of your turn, you are going to be able to deploy, in fact, you have to deploy 1 or 2 crates. You have to do at least 1. And they have to go on 2 different islands. So let's say I take a look at my ships here and I see, for example, I want coconuts over here and the crystals right there. So I could go here with 1 crate and I could go here with the other crate. So coconuts over here and the crystals over here. If I play 2 crates, they have to go to different islands unless I pay 2 coins to go to the same island. And the reason you might do that is because when one of these is completely filled, then you are going to score that island and distribute the goods that came from it. So let's say, for example, that we have over here some crates from a few different players, and then someone finally places the last one. First of all, let's say it was Blue who placed the last one there. They put the post here on the island. They play their second one if they intend to do so, and then you are going to score every island that was finished this round. The way you do that is everybody is going to get whatever good is the crate is sitting on, and they're going to move it to one of their ships. Point in fact, Blue here and Coconut, they move right over here, and that's it. If this was completed, they would score it and do one more thing I'll get back to. Also, whoever claimed the island is going to get some money that's printed here in the center, okay? There is something else that you can do, though, with the pirates. And so we have the little pirates here. Everybody has a couple of these. When you play these, they can just go normally onto an island, no problem. But you can also put them on top of someone else's crate. And when it's time to divvy up that island, the player with the original crate could pay the pirate 2 coins to go away. If they do not, then the original crate goes away and the pirate gets that goodie instead. If you have nowhere to deploy that good, by the way, which could happen, instead you get a coin and you just get your crate back. That's the possibility that, something like that to happen. So, once you have filled in a ship, you are going to take that ship and you're going to assign it to one of these 5 powers around your board. And like I said, once someone has 5 ships, you pretty much wrap up that round. That's going to be over. So what are these powers? And I'll get back to these special pirates over here in just a second. Well, this space over here is the simplest. It allows you to have an extra crate and an extra pirate crate. Then we have these over here. On one turn, one time, you can deploy 3 crates. So you can just cover that up, and later on, once you've used it, you can, show it, or you could always hide it when you use it, whatever. This one's going to let you deploy a crate directly onto a ship. This one's going to let you claim an island early before it's done. And this one is going to let you take a pirate off of one of these spaces return it to the player, emptying that spot. So what are these? Well, on your turn, you could deploy to here as well, but it has to be with one of the crates that has a pirate on it. And so you are going to place it on there and get some sort of power. You've picked at the beginning of the game 3 of these out of a total of 8. And these 3 are the only 3 that are available for the whole game. Once they're filled, they do not become empty unless someone kicks you out with that power, or you could pay, I think it's 4 coins to then wipe away the pirates and return them. So what do these things do? Well, I'm going to show you all of them in just a second, but let me finalize everything else here with scoring. Scoring goes like this. At the end of the game, when someone has 5 ships, finish out the round, then you gather up all the ships. Let's say I finished, 4 of them. By the way, when you complete one, you would then take one of the new ones over here. And you would add up the scores. So here I've got 21, 31, and then the coins, 32, 33, 34, 35. And then your secret objective would give you 1 victory point for every time the thing that you wanted shows up on your cards. In this case, it is rum, and I am horrible. I literally had none. These are random, though. But I would get, let's say it was coconuts instead. I would get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's more like it. And also, whoever has the secret, the shared one, rather, this one's not secret. Whoever has the most of that in their ships gets a bonus 10 points. And that's how you play the game. So let me give you a look at the special characters. Alright, so here's what these cards do. And by the way, once an island is complete, I think I forgot to mention this, you would replace it with one of the islands from the stack. I thought that was obvious, but I wanted to mention it anyway. Alright, so here's what these cards do. This first one here allows you to pay another player 1 coin and take a standard crate from one of their ships, put it on one of your ships, matching resource, of course. This one lets you move one of your crates from an island to a matching resource space on one of your ships, meaning before the island is complete, you get it right then and there. This one here lets you use one of the launch abilities, even if you've already used it, or you haven't earned it at all. So one of those 5 abilities around your player board. This one here lets you swap the contents of any 2 island resource spaces, or you can move the contents of 1 space to a different space. Alright, this one lets you choose a ship in front of any player and discard it, and that player is going to collect 2 coins for every crate they had on that ship already. So you get 2 coins for every one of these they just have to take back. Alright? This one here is the nastiest one of all, but that's why it can be only done a single time. And this one is what they call the unfair trade. You swap one of your ship cards with one of an opponent's, with an opponent's ship card, and all the crates on there stay. So when this is in play, you got to be careful with the big ships. And then over here we have 2 that have this symbol on the quarter, meaning that they're effects that stay in play. This one over here lets you, as long as you have a pirate on there, you can collect 1 coin every time somebody launches a ship. So every time someone completes it. And this one is you collect a coin every time someone claims an island. Alright? That's pretty much it. That's how you play the game. Hopefully that gives you an idea of how this works. Let's go back up top. Let me tell you what I thought of it. So there you have it. There are some positives for me and some negatives. I'm going to talk about those in just a second. Before I do, let me talk about the production itself, in which I also have some positives and negatives. The look of the game is very nice. It's nice and bright. It looks good. It's well done. Graphic design, also well done. The island tiles, the money, the player boards, and especially the player tokens are all very nice. Those player tokens especially have really bright, attractive colors, and they're well made. Nice hard plastic. They're cool. The cards and the box, strangely, are very thin. The box is like weirdly thin. This is like a very, I don't know if you can appreciate that, but it's a strangely thin box. And the cards themselves. And then the other thing is those cards, the special cards that have no text or symbols on there. They have nothing on there. They could have either given you the cards in a few different languages. Other games have done this with more than 8 cards, and you just get rid of the ones that for a language you don't speak. Or put a symbol on there, just a little reminder, something. I know it's only 8 cards, but you will have to reference the 3 that are out fairly frequently. And so I'm not sure why they didn't do that. A little something. The gameplay itself is fine. It's a game that has The turns are very breezy. It's easy to play, but it also pretty much lacks excitement all the way through. There's very few moments here that I would call exciting, There's moments where you are pleased with yourself, that you have completed a ship, or that you were able to pull off a good move and take someone else's ship and give them some garbage for it, whatever. But the excitement level here is decidedly low, It unfortunately has the all the things that I find positives and the things that you can sometimes find as bad things in Euro games. And so the turns are quick. What you are doing is apparent. What the idea behind the game is simple. It can be an engaging game, an engaging experience, especially if it's a low-key gathering. But there's no stand-up moments here at all. I don't even want to. It's okay to not have stand-up moments in most games. There's not even like a sit-up from the chair moment. That's what I'm saying. Because the game just sort of hums along until it's done. That's it. And they add a little bit of take that, but not enough. And it almost feels ill-fitting in the whole game, having those pirate cards. I mean, that one card lets me take someone's ship with everything on it and give them anything. That's a big swing. That's a thing that almost doesn't fit this game, because it's not mean for the most part. So there you have it. That's sort of where I'm at with this one. I enjoyed it. I would play again, but it's not one I'm going to be seeking out to play. It's one that I wish was a little more exciting, had a bit of an arc to it, and really the arc here just isn't there. You start, and the emotions there are basically the same emotions that you'll experience as the game nears its end. That's what I'm missing, I think, from this one, So, not a bad Euro game, and if it looks interesting to you, it's one that maybe you could play with a mixed age group, for example. You play with the teenagers and the parents. That would be okay, and that would fit, I think, the vibe here. But for me, I needed a little bit more punch in this one, and it really does not deliver that. This is in no way does it feel like a pirate game, really, And that's what I think is ultimately missing from Sail Away.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.